Yo, man, I'm having a hard time dealing with what's going on in the video game community, man. I was riding home from work and I was watching was it Next Gen 720 video about crap gamer and the Spider-Man shit again. More Spider-Man shit. I'm like, damn, I gotta listen to more Spider-Man shit. So I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind actually making a video telling, my story in reference to, PlayStation and Xbox and how I grew to hate motherfucking PlayStation. You know what I mean? So this is it. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story. You know what I mean? Originally, I'm a gamer at heart. You know what I'm saying? I'll put that out there now. So, but originally, I started probably back with the Atari 2600, and branched off into the NES Nintendo deal until Super Nintendo dropped, of course, and the Sega Genesis had both, and then from that point, we end up branching off into. We never did the PlayStation 1 off the rip. We kind of held off on that. Then we got PlayStation 1 a little bit later, into its actual lifespan. So it probably was out a couple years before we got it. Just because we was playing sports, me and my brother, things like that, school and shit. So, but with that being said, we was always kind of just playing both systems, but always had like a core system that we played the most. You know what I mean? And it was because something else came out on something else was the reason why we played other systems. Like I think the Sega Genesis version of Mortal Kombat had blood, and I think the Super Nintendo version didn't. So we would have duplicate shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's with something like that, we didn't have the Super Nintendo version. We had that on Genesis. You know what I'm saying? So leading up until our current state, but basically, back to my story. To speed it up a little bit, we had every system except for like Nintendo shit after like the Super Nintendo. We stopped buying Nintendo. No, I take that back. After Nintendo 64 was done, we stopped buying Nintendo shit up until like the Wii U. You know what I mean? So we went to had the Dreamcast. You know what I'm saying? And we actually really liked that, but that shit failed. So that was around the time when we kind of rocked with the PlayStation 1 around the time we did Dreamcast shit. And then from that point, it was, getting more into PS1. His Dreamcast kind of just fell the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? But that's when we started doing PS1 shit. And was like, damn, okay, we started becoming Sony fans off the rip. We never wanted to fuck with Sony. It was just like, Sony never had done it. And, a lot of people, that shit was mad expensive back then too. So, but we eventually got a PlayStation, started fucking with Sony. And then we fell in love with it. So from that point, it was like, okay, PS1, playing PS1 shit, boom, boom, boom. The PS2 dropped. It's like, hold off. Wait for it, see what it do, see how that work out. So eventually, I think I was like saving up for a car or something. And I ended up buying a car that was a lot less than what I projected. So, from that point I had a lot of money left over at, I think I may have been like 16 or 17 when the PS2 came out. Show my age and shit, right? So, me and my brother got up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, shit, I got money left. Let's go see if we can grab one of these PS2s. They've been out for a minute. We should be able to get one. At the time, I was working at a movie rental spot that we actually, rented games for. It's been Funkoland or EB Games at the time, before they turned into GameStop and shit. But we went up in there and shit, hollered at my man, and they had one left. I bought it with an extra controller and shit. I didn't buy no games because I was going to rent those. I didn't know what I wanted to, buy and shit, you know what I mean? So went and rented some games, shot to the crib. Me and my brother unpacked all that shit, hooked it up, played it, and then we was fucking hooked. Like, yo, this the next joint. We should have been bought it while we doubt it, and we was playing everything on that motherfucker. I mean, that bitch was burning out. You know what I mean? But I had a lot of problems with the PS2. I'm like, they kept breaking on me. They kept breaking. I was like on system number 4, and after that one died, I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm not buying no more PS2s. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? And I waited like months. Ended up shooting into another game, or another Funko Land, or EB at the time. And I was talking to the manager. I'm like, man, my shit broke. You know what I'm saying? And I can't get another one unless I buy it full price. I'm not doing that. So he was like, yo, this shit is about to end. But if you buy this, if you buy the insurance, you know, go home, call, get it all registered up. You know what I'm saying? And then wait about 48 hours. You can call them back, tell them your shit broke. They'll give you a code, and then you can bring the code in here and I'll swap it for you. I'm like, cool. So did that. Got another one, system number 5, and got that bitch to the crib. At that point, you know, we kind of like lax it. We kind of just like, you know, whatever. We wasn't really going crazy on the game system like that. But you know, once we did that, we got another one popping, and we running it, we burning it up, you know. And when I say burning it up, I don't mean like never turning it off. I mean like we play for hours, turn it off for hours, play for hours, turn it off for hours. You know what I mean? So lo and behold, that bitch break. I'm like, fuck them again. So years go, couple, well, you know what? Can I say years? Maybe a year, maybe go by. Get this new gig. I'm in college now. Get another gig, and at this point, I kind of played off video games and shit. You know what I'm saying? Started college, and then you know, sort of I ran into a couple dudes talking video game shit, and I'm like, oh, let me jump in this convo. You know, we talking, but they talking about Xbox, and I'm like, I ain't fucking running down that road again. You know what I'm saying? Start some new shit with a new company who don't do this. You know, nah, I'm straight. I'm not gonna do the Xbox. So one dude like, yo, this shit is the shit. You know what I mean? This game called Halo. You ever played it? You ever seen video? Did you read about it? I'm like, nope. I ain't fucking with Microsoft. Them niggas that make Windows XP. Nope. I'm not fucking with them on the video game tip. Fuck them. So he like, man, look, I don't know you like that, man, but you know, if you a gamer, you got to come by my crib and try it out. It's the shit. So I'm like, all right, bet, man. You know what? I don't normally do stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? But I'll swing by there and check it out. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking for something new to run. Go by my man crib. He throws Halo on. Give me the controller and shuts the fuck up. And I sat there for 3 hours playing the Halo like, yo, I'm about to go buy one of these bitches. You know what I mean? And then we started going off into all the additional shit that you can do in reference to like the memory saving and ripping CDs, you know what I'm saying, and having your music playing while you're playing games and shit. And it was like the next thing, you know. That shit was like revolutionary. Like, this system is giving you what you need to you know, just be comfortable with what you playing. Like, without having to turn a radio on, boom, I can just pop this shit in, put a CD in there, rip it, and then, you know, I got it popping on my TV versus throwing a radio on too, or putting on, you know what I mean? It was just, you know, it was no memory cards, you know. It was like, yo, this is the shit. So I got one of them, started fucking with Xbox, and it's been Xbox ever since the OG Xbox. You know what I mean? They came with the Xbox 360 and took the motherfucking, so they came with the Xbox 360 and killed the game again. You know what I'm saying? Against the PS3. Murdered it. So in my eyes, I'm like, okay, OG Xbox PS1 murder game. You know what I'm saying? Xbox 360, PS3 complete murder game because Sony came with that bullshit in that cell processor. But I had one because I needed to play shit like Metal Gear, and I played Uncharted on there. I was like, yo, Uncharted's the shit. I'ma always have me a motherfucking PlayStation if they're making Uncharted. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, you know, they're gonna probably drop another God of War too. So, you know what I mean? Gotta have a PS3. You know what I'm saying? So, as long as God of War and Uncharted was popping, I was playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna have a PlayStation at some point. So at that point, I'm like, yo, PlayStation is like my side chick. You know what I'm saying? You know, so the Sony PlayStation is gonna be my side chick. You know what I'm saying, going forward, because you know I'll fuck with it when it's time or when I want to. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm done, kick that bitch to the side. You feel me? Like, I don't need you no more. You know, just the quick little fun and then you out. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about Sony exclusives. You know what I'm saying? In the PlayStation itself. You know what I'm saying? It's like a side chick. It's a side chick to my gaming experience. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna fuck with Xbox the long way. Because like I said, that 360, the UI, the updates, avatars that connect with some bullshit, that HD DVD player with some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But they was coming with shit like the dual antenna networking adapters was on top of that, was making the internet wireless streaming experience better. You know what I'm saying? Xbox controllers always felt better. Games ran smoother. Sports games, 2K, Madden, all that shit ran better. Call of Duty ran better to me. You know what I'm saying? The online experience, multiplayer was there because they had Xbox Live, and Sony shit was whack. You know what I'm saying? So all Sony had was exclusives. That's all they had. And back then it was only a couple. Until PS4 come out, Microsoft dropped that weak-ass E3 presentation about always on, and I'm like, what the fuck, always on? I don't give a fuck about that. I want to see what these next generation games are going to be like. You know what I mean? And we never got that. So I'm still a fan, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep this shit moving. I'm gonna stay dedicated to Xbox. You know what I'm saying? And to speed time up a little bit, you know, PS4 dropped. They was running 1080, 30, 1080, 60, and we fucking with 720 and 900. And it's like, oh, I'm a resolution guy just as well as I'm a frames per second guy. But you know, certain games I'll take frames over resolution, but some games I want resolution over frames. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. So I want frames per second for sports games, but some action motherfucking, you know, worldly free roam, I want that resolution. You know what I mean? That's just how I like my game is set. So, long story short, we get a bunch of bullshit in the beginning from both systems, but then they dropped the Pro. Pro drop. And I'm like, yo, my homie was like, yo, same dude who put me up on the Xbox, man, you same dude. Was like, yo, same dude was like, yo, I'll grab you a Pro on me if you play it. Now, I had a PS4. I didn't have a Pro, though. Homeboy grabbed me a Pro, grabbed me a 2K for the PS4 Pro and shit, you know what I'm saying, with a PlayStation Plus subscription. And I still just didn't get that 2K experience off of PlayStation's internet. The PlayStation Now, that they version of Live, it wasn't there. Still not there. Anyway, now PlayStation got motherfucking Last of Us, and I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? PS4, they're gonna drop a God of War. So, you know, I always had a PS4 on deck. You know what I'm saying? I fucking hated that goddamn what the fuck is that bull? Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn. I did not like that shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people praising that shit. And you know, I guess the majority win, but that shit was making me fucking sleepy. I wasn't feeling that shit, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, you know, that's another one. Still ain't really got shit coming on Xbox, and when, you know, motherfuckers sitting around doubting it, and then, you know, I'm still sticking in like, yo, I'm gonna stick with them, you know what I'm saying? And then now, fast forward a little time, now we got the Xbox One X, and it's like, damn, did they make this system just to compensate for the shit that wasn't popping when they released originally? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, yeah, so did they make this system to compensate for the shit that wasn't popping before? So if that was the reason behind the Xbox One X, but there was no intention on giving us nothing new, like no mature shit, like my man Next Gen said. I mean, when I say my man, I don't know dude, but I watch his videos and shit, and I've been listening to the rants, and you know, he got a real good valid point. Like, we ain't got shit mature. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to pop some shit in where I can bust a motherfucker over the head with a brick. You know what I'm saying? Like on some Last of Us type shit, you know what I mean? On some real world, I got to make sure I take care of my daughter shit, you know what I'm saying, from these, you know, whatevers. That shit is wild. That shit, like, really grab you and gravitate you from real life, and then put you in an experience to where you feel like you can relate You know what I mean? And then if the shit looking good too, you know what I'm saying? That shit is fly. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say I'm excited about Spider-Man because I'm not. The game looked good, but I don't give a fuck about a Spider-Man video game. You know what I'm saying? I just don't give a fuck about a Spider-Man video game because I just don't. Not where I'm at. I want to see some shit where a motherfucker get torn apart. Motherfuckers I hope some bodies busting, some shit post-apocalyptic survival. Bitch put some shit together and kill some shit. You know what I mean? I gotta eat a motherfucker to survive. That's what I want to play. I'm tired of this kid shit. Like my man said, I'm tired of this kiddie shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? I love Halo, but I'm tired of that. You know, at least give me Splinter Cell back. But that's Ubi. That's still not Microsoft exclusive. Microsoft needs to make something that's original, that's fly, that's adult. You know what I'm saying? Mature. That's what we need. We need that. We need that going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm begging Microsoft. Microsoft, I am begging you. Motherfucking Phil Spencer. We begging you. We out here. We starving, B. We out here starving. You know what I mean? Niggas ain't eating. We ain't eating out here. Sony fans, they eating. They getting everything they fucking need. They paying their money and they getting their money's worth. We out here, we broke. We paying all this money for systems, pushing resolutions on shit that already came out. That's not the purpose and why we do this. Shit's supposed to keep moving. Like Sea of Thieves, bro. I'm sorry, that ain't gonna cut it. That shit ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? State of Decay 2. I'm sorry, man. That's not gonna cut it. Another zombie game? Fuck that. Crackdown, fuck Crackdown, dude. We want some brand new shit, dog. And I hate to talk like this, so I'm gonna go back to my professional voice. We're gonna need something that's going to be innovative, something that's going to be mature, something that's going to be relative, something that's going to be fresh. Phil, we need that. Can you please deliver? If not, like my man Next Gen said, it's gonna be a wrap. But it looked like that's what they're trying to do anyway. You know, so I'd rather them do an E3 and say, hey, we give up, raise the flag and say we done, we had a good run, but we don't have it no more. Sony, you can have it. Go out like a G, you know, with them samurais, dude. Take that little katana or whatever, that little sword, and stick it in your gut and plumb out all your fucking intestines on stage for everybody, so they can clap for you and say it was a good run. You know, do that. Just give up, you know, or give us something that's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, man, I'll never buy another Nintendo product. The Nintendo Switch, I'll never pay cash for that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not playing Mario Kart. Grown ass man, I'm not playing Mario Kart. My kids don't even want to play that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just pushing for mature shit. And we need that. So I felt like it was necessary for me to make this video to tell my story so that, you know, other gamers out there can be compelled to tell their story too. So, hey, talk to these folks, man. Talk to Phil. Let them know where we at. This is my story to Phil Spencer. Peace.